Everyone, this is Dr. Palpora from Assam Downtown University, and I welcome you to the video of Heat Transfer Lab. In this particular video, we'll discuss about what is thermal conductivity of metal rod. The aim of the experiment is to determine the thermal conductivity of a metal rod or any good conductor material for that matter. Before going to the details, we should know that what is conduction. Since the heat transfer is happening in a solid body, it should directly come to our mind that heat transfer is happening by conduction mode. So we have to know what is conduction. So conduction is the heat transfer between substances where the substances are in direct contact. Okay, it mainly happens in only solid bodies. This is the apparatus. In the left you can see the apparatus inside which the test rod is fitted, of which we will measure the thermal conductivity, and to the right you can see the control panel. Since the apparatus is not very clear, we cannot see inside. We can understand from the specification diagram here, the test rod is fitted inside the enclosure, cylindrical enclosure, and to the one side heater is fitted which supply heat to the test rod, and other side cooling chamber is fitted through which continuous supply of water will flow, and it will use as cooling, will take out the heat from the test rod. You can say along the length of the test rod, thermocouple 1, 2, 3, 4 are attached, and thermocouple 5, 6 are attached at the inlet and outlet of the water to measure the temperature. Few other specifications which will be needing for the calculation purposes are also mentioned here. Theory. The heat transfer coefficient can be measured from the conduction equation that is given by the Fourier's law, which is Qx is equal to minus Ka dt by dx, where Qx is equal to the heat flow in any particular direction, K is the thermal conductivity, A is the cross-sectional area, dt by dx is the temperature gradient. Procedure. Before starting the experiment, we have to ensure the mains is off. The dimer state that is shown here must be at 0 position, and knob which supply electricity, the red color knob which supply electricity to the control panel, should also be in off position. Then we have to switch on the mains, and we'll rotate the knob to supply electricity to the control panel. Then we have to ensure that continuous water supply is flowing. This is the inlet I have shown here. This is the outlet of water, and the outlet is not connected to the drain, you can see here, because we have to measure what is the mass flow rate of water that is coming out. To measure that, we have to put a flux or a measuring vase in bottom this, and we have to use a stopwatch to find out what is the volume flow rate. From the volume flow rate we can calculate what is the mass flow rate also, and we can use this valve to ensure continuous water supply to the cooling chamber. Here you can see thermocouple that is attached to the outlet, and this is a thermocouple that is attached to the inlet. After that, we will give the heater input by rotating the dimer state, and such that the voltage should be at a range of 40 to 100. You can see here I have done it to 70, that is the voltmeter reading, and at the right below the voltmeter reading it is the ammeter reading. We have to note down this volt and ammeter reading. Okay, then we have to wait for at least half an hour so that steady state condition is reached. Then we have to take down the reading of temperature. You can see here this is the temperature indicator. For different thermocouple temperature reading, what you have to do is you have to push this small button that you can see here, and we will get the temperature reading of different thermocouple. Like here, if we push it again, we will get another rating. After that, we have to take consecutive reading after 10 minutes or so that till a point where there is no difference between two consecutive readings, that means steady state condition is reached. Here I have given a sample calculation here. You can see that for reference. Now, to find out the heat transfer coefficient, let's go to the calculation. From here you can see that the heat flowing to the bar, or that is heat loss by the test rod, must be equal to the heat gain by the water. So you can see that Ka dt by dx must be equal to the mCp dt. Here we have to find out what is K. A we know, this is from the specification, that is surface area. Dt by dx we can find out since we have the data what is the temperature across the length of the test rod. M is the mass flow rate that we have to calculate. Cp is the specific heat of water which we know. T outlet and T inlet is the temperature of water at inlet and outlet. From this we can find out what is the thermal conductivity of the metal rod. Thank you.